Welcome to the Political Matrix News. We have the sources, we have the truth from inside the political matrix. Hey, the Political Matrix News cha-cha's on into December. Rob Milford, Greg Fink, Scott Miller. We are all across the state of Florida. We're all about what's happening in politics. You think, oh, wait a minute, the election's over. Oh yeah, no. We got two more races, at least two, coming up in Florida. We've already talked about that. The first district, that's the Panhandle. The sixth district, that is the East Coast, Central Florida, Daytona towards Ocala, that area. And two congressional races. They will be first decided in January the 28th and then on April the 1st. So, all of that said, Florida is donating extreme numbers of people to the president's cabinet and extreme numbers to the administration across the board. I just got an email from the president, and let's see, we have a new trade representative. I knew that would absolutely melt your butter, and that will be Jameson Greer. Anybody named after a Scotch is okay in my book. So
Scotch at a grocery store.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'd say depends on which what it is. And that is Greer's out on 98 West before you hit Alabama.
That's right.
It's got a killer liquor store. I mean, they really do. So he's out of California. Oh, wait a minute, Greg. He was a jet engine mechanic who served in Iraq and Turkey. So
Really?
in the Air Force.
No way.
Wait,
Another jet engine mechanic. That's awesome.
that could happen.
That's
Could
pretty
happen.
cool. I could be there one day. Maybe,
Well,
You
you
could do it.
maybe
yeah.
I could do it. I could do it.
Mm-hmm. So there is that. I'm trying to think where we are, where we're at, what do we got. We're talking about cabinet members, and Greg brought up the point that there are cabinet members who actually this time around will look good in a bikini, and one would be Pam Bondi, the former Attorney General of Florida, did that job for 8 years, and then of course Tulsi Gabbard from Hawaii, Army. I'm not sure if it was Army National Guard or Army Reserve, where she ended up, would be the lieutenant colonel or colonel.
Yeah,
And
one of the two. Yeah.
some reason, the Russia media referred to her as a Soviet asset or a Russian asset. And frankly, I don't want to get into that too much because it's just a bunch of like, what? But let's go ahead for total period interest. This is Tulsi Gabbard, one of easily more than a dozen pictures on the internet. And we just, and by the way, she is from Hawaii. So that means she has probably a different swimsuit for every day of the month. And you'll notice in proximity, you guys, we've all lived in Pensacola, and the closer you are to the beach, the larger the number of swimsuits that women have. If you're where I am, I'm down to two suits, the dry one and the wet one. But there you have it. And then Pam Bondi was taking this.
Places like this always have a custom bathing suit shop. That's how you know you're in a beach community. When they have a custom bathing suit shop, that's the niche market.
It is.
Okay, gotcha. And this is Pam Bondi taken several years back here in Orlando, where I am located. They do something called the underwear run, and I promise you, I haven't heard of it, and I don't even know if I would want to get out there in either my boxers or my briefs, or since I'm normally a commando kind of guy, but I just don't see exactly. There's a reason they do it at night. I'm pretty sure, but this is a few years back. And while I believe she was still the Attorney General. So
no, that particular one, that particular photo was taken when she was the state attorney for Pinellas County, I think.
Hillsborough, Pinellas, yeah.
Hillsborough, Pinellas, yeah.
The Tampa Bay area.
But she was an elected official for sure.
Yes, and that's one of the things she has going. Unlike a lot of these other Attorney General types, she's actually been in the courtroom 20 plus years. Okay. She has put people away. She has sent them up the creek with no paddle. She has sent them to the chair. She sent them to the needle. These are things that are kind of important and resonate with voters if they think bad guys ought to be punished.
Exactly.
And she will be on the forefront when it comes to, because they will ask the Attorney General's opinion about deportation of illegals. And I'll say, wait, are they here illegally? Yeah. Throw them out. There's not much complication here. And oh, wait a minute, they are
Eric
illegal,
Holder
but they
gave
had a
them
baby
guns.
here, so the baby is an American citizen.
Well,
You know,
I'll say
so are we going
this.
to
I
get
will
rid
say
of
this.
all? What?
Well, probably the best team up in that whole cabinet is going to be her and Homan,
Exactly.
because it's like Homan was commenting on the mayor of Denver, who was talking about how he was going to resist his plans to resist. At which point Homan pointed out that it's actually a federal crime to knowingly conceal and harbor an illegal alien. And he said,
Right?
"Go ahead and do it, and we will arrest you." And
Okay.
and having someone like Pam Bondi as the AG, I think, is what's going to facilitate that.
Exactly. Yeah. She will, and like we talked before, she'll hold the letter to the law very, very tight. And I mean,
Okay.
she's very good at that.
Well, it's not even the letter. I'd be happy if they just maintained the spirit, which they haven't been doing for the last 4
There's
years.
been no spirit of the law whatsoever. I mean, actually, Fox News talked about today that Obama had deported 5.3 million people,
Right.
and nobody ever noticed really. It
Okay,
wasn't
wait,
like
look,
he was-
stop, because that may be one of the greatest deportation efforts in American history. 5 million
was.
people over 8 years. You can
Mhm.
do the math, and that's 600,000 people a year, basically.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people. That's 10,000, 15,000 a week.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, basically,
break that
and right
down,
now,
man.
right
2,000
now
a day.
right now they're saying today the study came out that the illegal illegal individuals here are causing $166 billion a year in crime and everything else. And so basically, they
Good.
also said it's going to cost right around $300 billion to remove them. And so basically, I mean, we're actually netting out pretty good because
Exactly.
I mean, $300 billion to remove them to get rid of $166 a billion worth of crime every year. Everything else, I mean, I think it's a win. It's a
I think it's a
win-win.
win for a one-time cost of $300 billion to get rid of the $150 billion annual fee, which is what you're saying.
Exactly, because people don't realize. I mean, the ones who are here, the ones who are peaceful, they'll come back and with their documented paperwork, and everything else, they'll come back here peacefully and everything else. The criminals won't come back. And those are the ones who we're trying to get rid of. People, I mean, we're not. Nobody's trying to separate families. Nobody's trying to create a whole bunch of more orphans, which are, are not like today. They said the 1,500 people are, was it 150,000 people that are coming over, some number, high number. And anyway, 90 of them are underage kids who are just abandoned.
Well,
And
that was just
trafficking.
in one border crossing.
Exactly. There's just one caravan.
Mhm.
And so, I mean, I guess, yeah, it's 1,500 people, and,
Okay.
and 85 or 90 of them were underage. And it's sad. And nobody's out there. I mean, it's the Biden administration that has created this problem of sending all these orphans and everything else over here like that. I mean, Trump is not going to be that mean-spirited or mean-hearted to be separating families like that. He did it before, and he's not going to do it now. And so, I mean, this whole idea
The
that we're
best
trying to rip
estimate, by the
everybody
way,
apart, it's not going to happen.
yeah. Best estimate I got
Look,
today
look,
was
this
that a
this
coach-
this this whole narrative about separating families. I
Good
think
bullshit.
Holman had, a long time ago, had the best take on that when he said that if I go to a house and I have to arrest people for domestic violence, then we are separating the family.
Yeah.
So it's
Right.
so why should these illegal aliens be special just because, oh well, they're trying to get a better life. Well, I don't care. We are still going to deport you, and just like Holman said, if you don't want to have your family separated, you can all be deported together.
Or you can just get your paperwork together and go file and become legal pretty
Right.
quick. I mean, a lot of
Okay,
this is
so
going to
the-
instigate a lot of people getting their paperwork together pretty quick.
I got 3 guys that work for me who came from Venezuela. 2 of them have become citizens since they worked for me, and one of them's well on his way.
Exactly.
outstanding.
That's
Now-
the way you do it.
Los Angeles says that they are going to protect their kids. Denver says they will protect their kids. Portland, Maine, and Portland, Denver, Chicago, Los Angeles. Those are two of the biggest school districts in the United States. We're not going to cooperate with INS or whatever to deport these kids. Well, you're not going to have much of a choice. The schools operate under the proviso of loco parentis, which means they are your father and mother while you are in the school. That's the standard they are held to. But if the INS is coming for you while you're home one afternoon, you're going to go with mom and dad. And that's all there is to it. And it's only going to take a couple of teachers and principals arrested. And, hey, well, the school security guy is here. He's the school resource officer. He's going to stand back and say, okay, no problem.
No, they are not going to go to. They're not going to go to a single school.
I know that.
And get any kids.
I know
because first off, the kids aren't criminals.
I
mean, while they may be vicariously, in violation of the law, they're not actually the perpetrators of it. But even beyond that, when you get the parents, someone's going to go get the kids. The parents will tell you that they have kids over at this school, and some social worker is going to go get them. It's not going to be a bunch of armed thugs patrolling the schools, although that's what the Democrats want you to believe is going to happen.
Right.
It is absolutely not going to happen, and they know it.
It's like all the videotapes of back whenever they had the videotapes of all the people on cages. People don't realize Obama and Biden were the ones who created those cages.
Correct.
Everybody kept saying Trump was caging people. No, Trump was not caging anybody. In fact, most of the cages were empty whenever Trump was president. I mean, the cages were created
and why were they empty? Because they were in Mexico.
Exactly.
Because they were remaining in Mexico.
Exactly.
Hey, let's talk about tariffs. Let's talk about additional tariffs of 25% on everything from Mexico and everything from Canada until they stop illegal aliens coming into the United States.
Exactly.
And those will go into effect immediately on noon on January 20th.
How long did it take for Trump's phone to start ringing when he made that announcement?
Exactly. And the tariff will never happen because it's a negotiation tactic, and people need to realize that and quit whining about it.
It's a negotiation tactic, but it's not. But he is serious that he will do it.
Yeah, he'll do it, but they'll fold pretty quick.
Okay. They'll fold pretty quick.
Okay. Now, Canada, it says here, is bracing for an influx of Americans. True or false? Are people really going to go?
Hope so. There's a lot of Hollywood people who said they're going to leave America. Get the hell out of here.
They promised. They promised.
They broke their promises. They lied to the American people. They need to be, held accountable. Just like a Handmaid's Tale.
I was reading up on Ellen DeGeneres only because I always thought that her wife Portia de Rossi was like just a complete smoke show. And surprise. But they are now in England. Their house in California has been sold and not coming back. She says not coming back.
Well, nobody wants.
How many of Diddy's parties did she go to? I don't know. Oh, she was mean. That was the rap on Ellen DeGeneres. She was mean, and the truth is she was. And the truth is she was brought up through the various production guilds, unions, if you will, for being very unpleasant. And there was minor sexual harassment involved. I would not say major, but she was just no fun to work for. She was a screamer, and she got canceled because of it. So she's got enough money in the bank. Go to England. Bye-bye. Cheerio. Ta-ta. Robert De Niro isn't going to go anywhere. Both Sharon Stone and Alec Baldwin in a film festival in Torino, Italy, are critical of the United States, saying Trump was elected by ignorant. 80% of the population is ignorant because they don't have a passport. So, okay, if Trump was elected by the 80% ignorant, doesn't that mean that he did not perform very well because he should have had 80% of the vote? That's basically her rationale. And the same thing with Alec Baldwin. He's doing such crap. And apparently the movie he made where somebody died, the director of photography, because he was holding the gun in his hand when it went off and killed her. And he somehow
got away with it.
America sucks. So, they
I think it's hilarious
at the airport to said, no, get back on the plane. You're not being allowed in the United States.
The American judicial system set them free.
I was going to say, I think I agree with him. At least L.A. County sucks because they put the armorer in jail and let the guy that actually pulled the trigger, who who what's the first thing you do when someone hands you a loaded weapon, a weapon of any kind?
Don't put your finger on the trigger.
Well, even before that, you open the breech and you look at the magazine, you see what's in it, and you see if anything's loaded. Step one.
Okay, that's in the real world. In Hollywood, you, Scott Miller, the actor, try to look heroic or action hero style. Give me a shoulder turn or something. There you go. The name is Miller, Scott Miller. You got your martini handy? Not really. The fact is, they will hand you a gun, and they will tell you if it's loaded, unloaded, loaded with squibs, whatever. They will tell you that, and then you do not drop the mag. You don't cycle it. It is loaded. It is hot. There's one in the spout. Just start pulling the trigger. And that's
the way they used to do it. The procedures that they outlined are, and I guess every production may be different, but they had a list of procedures that the safety coordinator gave them for things like that, and dropping that mag and checking that chamber was on that list. That's why that girl went to jail, was because she didn't make him do that.
It was a revolver.
My question, I get that. So you open it up, and take a look. I mean, because the thing is that blanks are conspicuously marked.
Yes, they are.
So anyone can look at a blank, and the actors are trained on this is what they're supposed to look like, and they should know.
Okay.
So the girl going to jail, I mean, I'm not a big fan of that, but I depending on how everything went down, I can kind of see it. But the fact that he got off scot-free is bullshit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody died.
Oh God, can we not say, we can't say died, can we? That's one of those negatives on social media when we do it, even though we're talking about a news event.
Poo-poo.
Yeah, okay. I don't want to leave it on that happy thought, so give me some other happy thoughts. What are you guys going to do for Thanksgiving? What are you going to do for Thanksgiving? Talk about Thanksgiving.
I'm going back to the country for the first time since COVID. Where my family lives up in rural North Santa Rosa County, we're going to go have our actual family Thanksgiving that we've had since I was a child for the first time since COVID.
Yeah, we're doing that over here in Stark, Florida. We're going to have 65 people there. It's my cousin-in-law's family. They're a very big roofing family in Stark. And we'll have, we'll fry 2 hams and 2 turkeys and probably 35 kinds of desserts. And I'll be losing weight more. And
I don't think you will.
Scott,
I'm working on it, baby.
Scott, how many people are going to be in Millertown, Florida for this?
Oh, there'll be at least 50. There's generally around 50 people.
Right.
Like I said, it is on the farm. Let's put it this way: we'll be setting up our own shooting range.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we have an axe throwing range we're doing.
Okay.
Hey, that's actually a good idea. Maybe we can pick us up some pallets and make some axe throwing.
We're throwing axes at watermelons.
Yep.
So we're doing
watermelons are expensive this time of year. I'm thinking pumpkins are probably a little more available and a lot less expensive.
I'm thinking 2x4s.
We have a watermelon farm right next door, so.
All right. Well,
good for you.
So that's a happy thought. It's a small thing here. We're expecting 2 other couples, my sweetie's son and daughter-in-law. They're bringing somebody else.
Very nice.
And a pair of friends from Pensacola Beach who are Disney holics, who are down. They arrived yesterday. They are spending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nights at Disney at one of the resorts.
Right.
That is their thing. That's it. That's what they do. They drive from Pensacola Beach to Orlando. And sometimes they stay with us for like 1 night before they go, or the last night they're here. But it'll be a fun bunch. And generally on Thanksgiving Day, the women are here drinking and cooking, and we go drink beer and play a round of golf.
So what are you thankful for?
And the what again?
What are you thankful for?
I'm like the classic song from the 1970s. I'm thankful for what I got. William DeVaughn was the singer
Pretty
for
good
that
one.
song. Be thankful for what you got.
I'm thankful that Trump won and Matt Gaetz isn't going to be the AG.
Yes, I'm very thankful. I'll mirror that. This is the first time Matt Gaetz has not been in elected office since '09, the first Thanksgiving.
I'm not
And
even worried about. I'm not even worried about elected office. I'm just glad he's not going to be in charge of thousands of armed federal agents.
I'm very thankful on that one.
Yeah,
And
amen
so,
to that.
but yeah, I think this country's going the right direction here.
That's something to be thankful for. On behalf of Scott Miller and Greg Fink, I'm Rob Milford. Thanks for the watch here of the Political Matrix News. And do not forget to like us and share us and subscribe. That will be free as long as you have the subscription. By the time your children and grandchildren get around to watching, it's probably going to be at least $1 a year or something like that. You all have a great Thanksgiving. We will be back after the holiday with, yes, amazingly enough, more politics on the Political Matrix News.